going on with y'all? It's your boy NeohXO, and today I'm gonna be doing some predictions for Black Clover chapter 270. Now, Black Clover chapter 269 was really good. I think everyone pretty much universally enjoyed that chapter. Of course, we had the AMD facing off against Asta in a really interesting battle of wills. Now, the reason I call this a battle of wills is because Asta said something along the lines of, "So I see you have your own reasons for fighting, and in that case, I'll just fight you and win." Now, this leads into my predictions, but before we get into the predictions, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're into Black Clover. Now, getting into the predictions, this leads into it because Asta states that he will fight the AMD and win. And from the way that it's looking right now, Asta is dodging a lot of the AMD's attacks and actually putting pressure on the AMD. You can actually see in the very last panel of chapter 269, the anti-magic devil is really being pressed for real. Unless the AMD comes out with like a new ability that we don't know of, I do suspect Asta to completely take this victory. Me personally, I just don't see in any way, shape, or form the AMD League possibly being able to defeat Asta. We even get this cool kind of collage of characters that Asta has faced in the past using swords. Now, people were saying, why is Mars there? If you really think about it, Mars used some sort of magical sword, and I guess that's why they included him alongside the other magic swordsmen. Now, the thing is, Lieb doesn't have much training, and we know he didn't have much training because we saw him get sealed inside of a grimoire when he was very young, and now he's grown with more power because, like, we see whenever he was a kid, he didn't really have any power. And while he was in the grimoire, he manifested some anti-magic power. Now, the fact that he's in the grimoire means that he didn't train, because so far from what we have seen, he just floats around in the grimoire. He's just there in the space of the grimoire space, whatever you want to call it, and he just floats around. So even though he manifested that power, he didn't master it. I believe that he's not even fully using his full capabilities right now. That's why I say it's a possibility that something triggers from his anger and he unleashes some more power. But even if he were able to unleash more power, Asta doesn't have any magic, and Nox states this. Against any other opponent, the essence of anti-magic would erase their magic. But when it comes to Asta, let's say the AMD does something like a anti-magic zone, that doesn't affect Asta because it's not erasing magic, because Asta doesn't use magic. So it's kind of like an even fight when you really think about it, because, well, somewhat even. I'll say somewhat even because Asta doesn't have an arm. He's fighting with one arm. He's fighting with the lack of his power, and I think this was a really good fight overall because it shows that Asta did not need his power in the first place. He just did not need it. He's winning without the power. So basically, what this states to me, or what this signifies to me, is that Asta is strong whether or not he had the magic. And I think this is important because in the anime, I reviewed the anime episodes for those of you who don't know, and some of the comments I got was that somewhat along the lines of the other characters are envious of Asta and they're saying he's only strong because of devil powers. This was brought up a lot during the time of the Devil Believers anime arc, that Asta was only strong because of his powers. Now, this right here should solidify the fact that Asta is very powerful with or without his powers, and that's just what it is, because his source of power is Lieb and he's defeating Lieb. So Asta is just a shonen main protagonist. Like, he definitely deserves that title because he's really showing out. Now, next chapter, I do suspect it to definitely be the closure of this fight. Any longer than that, and I feel like it might be dragging on. So I suspect that Tabata will end it next chapter, especially since it's gonna be hard to top this chapter, because like I've been looking around and everyone universally really enjoys this chapter. It was a really good fight, and just I don't suspect Asta to lose in the next chapter. It just doesn't make sense, especially since he has to go and fight Captain Yami. Now, it's a possibility. I'll leave it there. It's a possibility that Asta loses, but I highly doubt it, because what would happen? Would it be just Leeb taking over Asta's body? And I just want to have to put my faith in Asta. I think Asta has proven time and time again that he's a very faithful person and he sticks to his word. Just like he said he's going to become the Wizard King one day, I believe that he will. So he said he's going to fight Leeb and win. So I fully suspect in the next chapter, Asta is going to wrap up this fight and win against Leeb. And we're going to see some sort of agreement or some sort of conclusion where Noct has to give some type of information, because Noct has been very informational these past few chapters. So Noct is probably going to give us some information somewhat along the lines of, okay, Asta, you succeeded and now you can use more of the devil's power. Perhaps the devil gives Asta his arm back, or maybe Asta never gets his arm back. I've seen some people saying that Asta might die metaphorically and physically. So we're just gonna have to see. My prediction for next chapter, Asta is going to win. Noct is going to give us some more information. He's going to be one step closer to saving Captain Yami, and then soon, within the next couple chapters or so, they should be going on the mission, because at the end of the day, they only had a couple of days to actually get ready to go save Captain Yami. So I fully suspect that within the next coming chapters, they're going to be going to save Captain Yami. Asta's training right here should be wrapping up soon. It seems like he learned some things. I say he already learned some things, and also he should be having more control over Leeb's power, considering that Leeb actually came out, they got to talk, and I really hope that they can find some sort of middle ground and actually get along with each other, because at the end of the day, Leeb is inside of Asta. So when it comes to Noct in specific, it seems like Noct's devils are under Noct's control. I really am curious to see how much of under control Leeb is going to actually become to Asta. Now, we know Asta has to learn to control Leeb's powers. Either that, or they're going to have some type of relationship where they switch control of the body sometimes, because that would also work. Because we've seen with Magicula and Vonica that Magicula can take over Vonica's body. So it might be a similar situation where the AMD might not have full control over Asta's body as he would wish, but every once in a while he makes an appearance again, taking over Asta's body. Or they just really have to learn to work together, and I think this is probably going to be the first like hint at it, because the AMD is going to have to respect Asta after Asta wins. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeohXO, and I'm out.